Okay, and we are live. How's it going, everyone out there in the land of fitness? How you doing today? I'm gonna give everyone a chance to join in. So, normally takes everyone a couple minutes to get on here. I think there's somewhere where it shows. There we go. We got one viewer. One viewer. Thank you,
Let's
one
go.
viewer.
Does it tell us
So
who
how
it
you-
is?
They're watching on YouTube. That's all I know. So.
Mm.
So we got some lo-fi music. We got Brandon up here looking all suave in his DH shirt. So, how you doing today, man?
Doing great. Doing great.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Have you been enjoying your extra freedom now that you're living the video editor life?
I have. I enjoy it a lot. I like it. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. For everyone who doesn't know, Brandon is DH's like main guy for editing. He knows what's up. He's the
Absolutely.
only reason why our videos look good.
That's not true.
And he has to listen to me say A-OK all the time.
I'm fixing the staticky sound again.
Oh, gotcha.
Got it.
Are you looking forward to having to edit yourself?
Oh, I can't wait.
Just listen to your own self-talk.
I'm sure you enjoyed doing that when you were doing it.
You get used to it. Like you kind of just disassociate it. Like it's just another person. Like you don't even know anymore. But the first time you do it, good lord, it's awful. Oh, it's Emily and Wayne watching. Hi, Emily and Wayne. How you doing?
Hello.
The Hastings. So Jim Mom's gonna be on here in 2 weeks. Can't remember. 2 weeks. You can comment on it if you say.
I'm gonna see her tomorrow so I can get that fresh fade.
I am in desperate needs of hanging out with her and her scissors. There's no doubt. If anyone, Brandon, hit up Emily Hastings. She owns a line salon, and she knows what's up. She knows what.
Do it.
Okay, Brandon. I think we've given everyone a quick chance to get in here, and while we're giving them a little bit more time, let's go ahead and find out more about you. So, if you don't mind, just give me a quick rundown of who you are and what you up to, what you about, what you do.
Well, I'm Brandon Pittenger. I've been a member of Dedicated Health. A little bit before it became Dedicated. So I was there at the end of the THFC days. And, I've been here since the beginning of DH. So I feel like it's a home away from home. I am 32. I have been married since I was 19. So we got married when I was 19 years old. So what would that be? 13 years? This would be 13 years this year.
Yep.
Math.
Quick math. Quick math.
Yeah, you should see me do plate math. We have 4 kids. They are 10, 9, 7, and 3. So we got our
You almost
hands
have
full a little
enough.
bit.
You almost have enough for like a full blown like rocket countdown. 10, 9.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not from here originally. We moved from the Indianapolis area down here in 2010. I used to run a home improvement company, Window World, and that was fun. Did that for 10 years. I'm and I'm also the pastor of worship and student ministries at First Baptist North. I've been doing that. I was a volunteer there. I've been doing music there since 2010 as well, but I came on staff there in 2015. So I've been doing that for a minute, and then fell in love with training, and then have done some training with DH. So yeah, now I'm doing video editing. So
The world came full circle. There was also an extent where you did wedding photography, right? Like
I did do that. I did videography for a couple of years. I've always loved like some kind of creative outlet. I do a lot of art, and then video production was a lot of fun, and I just enjoyed it. So I kind of do that with hobbies. I kind of find something that interests me, and then I go, 150% in for a couple of years, and then move on to the next thing. It's probably, ADD.
We speaking of which, Sir Brandon is the proud, if I can get this to not glare, is the proud producer of this for me. This was my Christmas or birthday present. I can't
Oh
remember.
yeah.
With them art skills he do be having. He was also the co-founder, one of the co-founders of Nurly Nurling, and he was the artist for that. So this
Absolutely.
man's all the skills.
Just mediocre at a lot of things.
No. Jack of trade. So I learned this from Cody the other day. So the saying, have you heard the saying, Jack of all trades, master of none?
Yeah, that's me.
The full saying is Jack of all trades, master of none, but often better than a master of one.
I like that one. That's true.
So, yeah. You're like a Swiss Army knife. The hyperfixation. So good. So
Oh,
good.
that's me. That's me.
Yes. That's definitely me too. 100%. So, tell us a little bit about your fitness journey. I know you used to train as the Y. Have you always, like, now you're into powerlifting? Like, what was the progression from like picking up weights to powerlifting? Give us the scoop.
Okay, so, well, I actually hated fitness. I didn't want anything to do with working out at all, actually. I would work and then I would come home, and my wife was very much into fitness, and she was the one who kind of would ask me to work out with her, and I'd be like, no, I don't really want to. And it was just kind of that over and over and over again. But I always played basketball. I played basketball growing up and had done that forever. And so when she would work out at the Y, I would go and I would play basketball. And I remember there was one time that I guess I had gotten done early and she was still working out. So I kind of moseyed into the weight room and just kind of was like, I can do some of this stuff. So I did, just messed around in there. And then kind of was like, oh, this is pretty fun, and so I just kept going back and back. And then at the Y, I don't know if they still have it there, but there used to be this this chart on the wall next to the benches, and it was just like a progression chart, suggested like if you can hit this, do this for this many reps, this for this many reps, kind of like an ascending progression. And so me and a couple of friends would always try to do those charts, and every week we would try to do one. And then if we failed, we'd have to do it again the next week. Or if we got it, we would go to the next level. And I think that was like my entry into like powerlifting. I didn't know it then, but that competitive, like I want to get that heavy number and that's what I want to do. And so I'm just going to keep going after it. And so, yeah, that just turned into another fixation of mine, but this one's lasted for a long time. So I'm happy about that too.
That's awesome. And when was it you first started hearing about powerlifting and like realized that was actually a thing, or were you always aware of it?
So, I have a friend, Travis Beckner. He's also a member of DH.
Good guy.
Yes, great guy. He, I don't think he's competed, but he always has just enjoyed powerlifting, and he would always talk about the lifts that he was doing. And that was back when I like didn't want anything to do with fitness, so I didn't even want him to talk about it with me because I was like, we were talking about lifting weights again. But he was kind of like the entry into the world of powerlifting that I didn't even know anything about it outside of him. But then actually when COVID hit and we were all isolated, I was coming off of a back injury and was just lifting in my garage, and trying to just manage while we were all in lockdown. And I remember hitting a wall and being like, I need to like train for something. I want to do something. And so I was like, maybe I'll just sign up for a powerlifting meet and see what that's about. And so I found West Indy and saw that they had a meet in November of 2020 or 21, whenever it was that we came out of lockdown. And I was like, okay, I'm going to sign up for that. And that was like the beginning, you know what I mean? And I went into that meet having no clue what I was doing. Like I think I looked on Google, like, what's a 6-week training program for powerlifting? I didn't even know what I was doing. So, uh, but it was fun. And then I've been hooked ever since.
And was that the weights before dates? Was that the one I went to with you, or was that a different one?
I think you did the weights before dates, and I did the thanks lifting meet in like that was my first one. Yeah.
Okay, so I went with you because I seen you do a meet first, and then I wanted to do because I went to your first one.
Right. Right.
And that's what actually motivated me. So there you go, having a friend that like does motivating things. There's some power in that. Like I wouldn't have tried
Absolutely.
powerlifting if it wasn't for that. So,
Yeah.
uh, well, that's awesome, man. And I know you're preparing for another meet in the future,
And
August, right?
that's the goal, hopefully. I've been nursing an injury, and I've been doing physical therapy, and I've just started a new training block. And I'm benching pain free now. So we'll see what happens. I'm
A
anxious to get back
plus.
to it. You know what I mean? So,
Yes, I've kind of enjoyed my momentary like being a little bit stronger than you, but I'm only stronger because I can lift and you can at the moment. So, but as soon as you can lift again, I'm not going to be strong anymore. So it doesn't matter.
no, you're strong. You're strong. You can absolutely post the Holy Spirit activate.
Holy Spirit activate. I love it.
Absolutely.
So we know who that is. Facebook user is definitely Emily Hastings. Love it.
Absolutely.
Well, I have one more question before we get into the main topic of the night. Obviously, you're a very goal oriented person, so we're going to be discussing how goals have influenced your life.
Mhm.
And I haven't told you this, but in the future, I want to do a video on how you manage to stay active with 4 kids and a wife. But could you give us a little bit of a scoop of some of the struggles you face trying to
Yeah.
stay in the gym?
So time is a big one. Time is like the main one, actually.
Yeah.
Dividing your time between home and responsibilities of work, being a husband, being a father. My kids are getting older, so they've got sports that they're doing and their extracurriculars. Making sure that I'm not neglecting any parts of those relationships. It's hard. Like there's not, it it's had highs and lows for sure. My wife is very gracious to me. um,
And her
and
name's
so,
Grace, also.
and her name is Grace. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And she understands, like, she knows why I do it, and that it is like my competitive outlet. It's what I do. I have a lot of fun doing it. And she would never tell me like, no, you can't do that. You know what I mean? But I have to know like when it's too much, all that kind of stuff. So it's just balancing time management, and yeah.
Yeah, you have a couple weeks to think of some tips to give people on how to, manage that time and balance
Yeah.
because we'll definitely be doing a video of that in the future, a little sneak peek. But for now, for everyone who is currently watching, we are going to be covering Brandon's 3 reasons why goals are important for him. Just so you know, during this little bit, we will not be reading the comments, but please ask as many questions as you can think of because we'll be doing a Q&A after this. So
Mhm.
please just bomb the comments with all kinds of questions. Anything you can think of, ask away. We are open books. But without further ado, so Brandon, what are your 3 tips or 3 reasons why goals are so important to you?
So I'll just preface it with that. These are like my reasons. I don't think that these are prescriptive. You know what I mean? But they've definitely worked for me, or at least what I've come up with. And so my first one, for the importance of having goals with your fitness journey, is that it gives you purpose, right? And so I shared a little bit about um, being in lockdown and being like, you know, what am I doing? And I think without that sense of why, like, why am I doing this? Everybody has a different motivating factor about why they're training, whatever the case is. But I think, that purpose, why am I doing this? What is it for? There's a lot of talk about motivation in the gym. What do you do to stay motivated? And I think motivation is kind of a fleeting term because it comes and goes with emotion. But when you have a goal, the purpose behind the pursuit of what you're doing, then it becomes a matter of discipline. You may not feel like you want to do it, but you know that you're not going to reach that goal that you've set if you don't commit to it. So if you don't have a purpose for being at the gym, or if you don't have a clear goal, then the likelihood of you skipping on workouts or skipping on the day or just not showing up at all, I feel like that increases. And I know it does a lot for me. Like, I even joked with you before that, if I didn't have, if I didn't know that I was going to be able to compete in some meets in the future, then I wouldn't even be here. You know what I mean? Like, and it is a little sarcasm in that, but at the same time, it's like, that's my driving factor. And, I'm going to do it as long as I can. And that's my goal. But I know for myself that if I didn't have that goal, then I would just be who I used to be, just hating this stuff. So yeah, purpose is important. I think that's a really, really important one. What is my purpose in this? And then, do you have anything to add to that, or do you want me to keep on just rolling through them?
Just keep on rolling, brother. Keep on rolling.
And then that leads to the second one. They kind of build off of each other. To setting goals is that they give you direction, right? And so you have this purpose, you have this vision, you have this goal of what you want to be, or how you want to look, or how strong you want, whatever the goal is. But that gives you direction, because we know there's a lot of different ways that you can work out. There's tons of different methods, different approaches, and they all work for many people with the many different goals that they can come up with. Any particular training method is going to be beneficial to someone if it lines up with what they're trying to achieve. So like for me, I'm a power lifter, and so my goal is competitive powerlifting. So that directs me to lifting in a way that will develop me in that area, specifically in the squat, bench, deadlift, and getting as strong as possible to hit a 1 rep max. You know what I mean? Like, so that is like specifics of that goal of mine. So you typically won't find me sprinting on a treadmill, clocking my time to see how fast I'm running a mile. You know what I mean? Like, not that that's not a beneficial or healthy or good thing to do, but that's not going to line up with what my goal is. And so without that goal, you can come into the gym or approach fitness with confusion, because you don't really know what your aim is. So you're like, I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try this, and I'll go to this machine and I'll do this thing. And, you end up wasting a lot of time, and you kind of walk around aimless. And we've all been there, of just being like, I don't really know why I'm here. I just know I want to get strong, so yeah, you have to have that direction, and that comes from the goal that you set. So that's number 2. And then the last one is, like I said, it's kind of a 2-for-1. And what you kind of shared on it a little bit, with coming to my powerlifting meet and then that encouraging you. I think there's a sense of community that comes from the goals that you set. And the way that happens is that you'll find out that there are others who share the same goals, right? And so you might not have the exact same ones, but like, I found a smaller community within DH that they all have similar interests, similar goals as far as powerlifting and all of that kind of stuff. And so you just naturally kind of end up in the same pockets of space, in the same conversations, and you have this community. And then what that brings along is the second part of it, which is accountability. So you've got this community with accountability. You build these relationships with these people. They'll in turn encourage you and help keep you accountable to the goals and training that you've set. And I think all of that really doesn't happen, or it struggles to happen, without a clear goal, And I would just say that, I don't know the full acronym on SMART goals, but I understand the principle behind it. I think for me, what I've done is I have my main goals of competing, and then in training, I've set smaller goals that are more attainable, like certain numbers that I want to hit before a certain date, or whatever the case is. And so you work towards those things, and it makes training, at least for me, like fun and a challenge. I have a lot of friends who are golfers, and the sport of golf is like you play against yourself all the time, and you're trying to get a better score. And I tell my friends, like, this is my golf. Like, I want to go in and do better than what I did last time and get a better number than I did last time. You know what I'm saying? So all of those goals play into your community aspect of the gym.
I I really do not believe you could have laid that out any better. Like it almost lays out the path of like a fitness journey too, where like first you have the motivation and you like, I want to make a change. I don't know what that change is, but I want to make a change. And then you finally start getting some motion going. You start learning a little bit and you're like, okay, I know what I want now. I want to like really get strong. Like that's what I'm focusing on. That's what I'm all in on. And then whenever you start preaching stuff out into the universe, like the universe always gives stuff back. So the universe provides you with some more people who are interested in that as well. And before you know it, you have this whole community of people that's backing you, supporting you. And it's always nice too to find those like you have gym friends, right? Like gym
Mhm.
people you walk by, you pass, like you're both in gym, you're trying to better yourself. So you relate on that level. But like there's no, it's a huge difference from passing someone in the gym and like you're both there bettering yourself and running into someone in the gym who's like, I want to get strong just like you. Like
Right.
you just relate on such a deep level. So that's awesome. I could not have put that better myself. And someone else really liked it as well too. Putting that on a vision board. Uh, awesome. So, what did you like? How did you decide? Like, yes, this is what I'm going all in on. Like, this is what I'm going to put my training towards for now. I'm going to focus on just getting stronger. Was it just like you did the meet and you were hooked, or it was just like this is just all in what you want to do? Like, what made you
Yeah.
make this decision?
Um, I don't know. It's hard to kind of nail down. I think, when I first started, I wanted to, like, I told myself like I want to be healthy and I want to um, gain a little bit of size, all that kind of stuff. And
Mhm.
um, for me, it was like it it was monotonous. Um, and I know like powerlifting is very monotonous too, so it doesn't make sense about why that would be less, but or a difference to me. But again, it came down to like, what am I doing this for? So for me, like, I honestly like personally don't care about having like a six pack abs and having all those things. Like for others, they might, but for me, I just don't. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
what I found was most exciting for me and what made it most enjoyable was the strength aspect, and so um and there was something about like I think at that powerlifting meet, watching people like move like 800 pounds off the ground, and I don't know, like it just like blew my mind, and I was like, I want to
Mhm.
do something like that, so
Yeah, I
um
want to do that too.
yeah, and I might never do that, but like, so that's what it was. And like again, I have that competitive drive and that outlet, and you know, I'm also like basketball. I play basketball still, but um, I'm getting older, and like it hurts to
You can
run.
you
But I'm
can
also a powerlifter, so
you can slam that ball so hard now though. Like
yeah,
you got so much strength.
so much
Um,
strength.
I will say too, like with lifting specifically, like there is nothing. Even if you don't like heavy lifting, like you don't have to like heavy lifting. There is
Right.
nothing more motivating than a powerlifting meet because it's one of the few competitions where everyone is cheering for the person on the platform. Like the
Yeah.
competitors, everyone is cheering for that person on the platform to do their best because everyone wants to succeed. Like there's very few powerlifters that want to see someone fail. Like
Right.
basketball, obviously you're on one team or the other, you want to see one team lose. Like it's
Right.
just part of it. And powerlifting, completely far from that. Uh, so would you have any tips or advice for someone who's kind of like in between goals right now, like how you would go about trying to decide what goal to pick or anything along those lines?
Um, I would say like if man, if you're in between goals and you don't know what you want to accomplish, that makes it hard. Um, like I mean, I know I said earlier, like emotions can be fleeting and stuff like that, but at the same time, you don't want to really hate what you're doing. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
um, like there's times when I'm like, I hate this workout because it's so hard, but I actually love it. You know what I mean? So,
When
um,
you get done, you're like, yes.
yeah, but like if you legitimately are like, I hate this style of training, like I hurt all the time, or um, like you have a sense of dread that comes over you, then that's pretty clear that it's not the right one for you, at least not now. You know what I mean? So I think finding what makes you excited, what you find joy in training, and it could be out of the gym. It could be like hiking, or it could be, like it could be anything
Mhm.
that you're just moving your body and you enjoy it. So yeah, I'd say uh, do a little research on yourself and see what you enjoy, you know?
I agree with that 100% too. Although I do think that everyone needs some form of strength training. At the end of the day, what you do most, like at most to be healthy, you need like 2 hours of strength training. So 2 hours a week is really all you need, just for general health. But like try different things. Like if you don't know what you like, then it makes it so much harder. So try like running a 5K, try going for hikes, like try all these different things until you find something you're like, this is it. Like, if anything, all it's going to do is make you like healthier than you've ever been. Like, if you try all these different things and you like go from different event to different event, like you might not become an all-star, but you're going to be healthier than you ever were. You're going to have all these experiences. And a lot of
Yeah.
time these things are fairly cheap, like a gym membership, 5Ks, all these things aren't that expensive. And it's definitely a good way to like keep yourself motivated and figure out what goal you want to focus on. And something that's helped me too is understanding that there's different seasons in life. Like sometimes I train like a power lifter, sometimes I train like a bodybuilder. It just depends on what's going on in my life at that time, the amount of time I have to dedicate it. Because you think working out takes a long time, but you don't realize how long it takes until you start powerlifting. Like
Yeah.
it changes the
Very true.
game.
It's very true. Oh yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think trying things out, that's all of our starts. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's how I found powerlifting, was I just tried different things out and I ended up liking it. If I wouldn't have liked powerlifting, then it would have been something else. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, and there's other things, I want to do a Tough Mudder. I want to do
Mhm.
other things like that just because I think it'll be
It
fun.
sucks,
Yeah, I know. Like,
but
but I
it's
want
a
to do
fun
it.
suck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I've never done
you'll
it and I
def-
want to do it, but it's one of those things, you know?
you'll have to sign up with me and Keith and Shane next time, and me and you will just hold up the back for everyone.
Yeah, my cardio's not very good. So
Well, I definitely appreciate you joining. Wait, here we go. Here's a good one. Enlist the guidance of a trainer. Huge difference for me, as I had no clue whatsoever what I was doing. Absolutely love my fitness journey now. I am
yeah.
going to guess this is either Tammy or Emily. And either way, I love you both and appreciate you both. Or if it isn't one of you, I still appreciate this comment.
It's
But I
it's
agree with that too.
I was gonna say it's very true. Like,
Mhm.
even like we like in powerlifting, we have coaches. You know what I mean? Like there's people that have done more than me that teach me so I can teach other. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just that trickle down. But yeah, trainers are, yeah, I agree.
I agree with that 100%. And a lot of times, like having that outside perspective, someone you can. The best example of this I can give you is with Emily Hastings. I'm sure she won't mind me sharing the story. Is she came to me and she didn't really have any particular goal. She just wanted to lift like heavy. She just went through a rough time and she was looking for something. It was Tammy. She was going through a rough time and wanted basically an escape from that. Because lifting is a mental health game as well too. Like it's a huge stress relief. And then I had her start lifting heavier and heavier and heavier, and she fell in love with it too. And before long, like now, that's all she wants to do is lift heavy, and like doing high rep stuff is like she hates me when I have her do that. So having a coach that you can kind of bounce ideas off of and make something for you is a huge deal. And I definitely recommend it, at least for a little while when you're first starting. But I think I have taken you away from your kids and wife for long enough. So, do you have anything else you want to say before you hop off here?
Um, Not really. I mean, if you're struggling with goals, or if you're just hit a plateau or whatever, like don't be afraid to reach out to one of us. We'd love to talk to you about how we can get you back on track and maybe find something that you didn't even know you liked.
Yeah, 100%. We have a bunch of different options at DH and West Indies, so we are here to take care of you. There, yep. Emily says, "Yeah, there are 12 reps in this program. I'm sorry, okay? Like, you and Don were hurting. I had to fix it somehow. we had to switch it up. But anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who hopped on here. Thank you, Brandon, for sharing your goals. I'm sorry that you're gonna have to edit a video with you in it. Like, I know how awkward that is, but hey, I love listening to you. Maybe you'll fall in love with it too. But until next time, everyone, stay dedicated.